Hello everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. I have an upcoming class, an online class that happens on October 23rd, and it is going to be a class over in a private Facebook group for Creative Scrapbooker magazine. So they have a private Facebook group, I think it's called Village of Inspiring People. And you pay like $15 a month, and it's a really great and supportive Facebook group. And they also bring in outside instructors to teach classes here and there. And then the classes are archived within their Facebook group. So Jackie from Creative Scrapbooker reached out to me, gosh, it must have been 6 months ago, and said, hey, would you want to do a class? And I said, absolutely, let's make it a holiday class. So I wanted to let you guys know there's links down in the video description. Basically what it is you sign up on a monthly basis for access to this Facebook group. And then you get access to everything in the whole group, including 3 years worth of content. So there's a big variety of classes that they've done over the years, lots of mixed media, scrapbooking, painting, just like all sorts of stuff. And so I'm going to be teaching a watercolor class, kind of loosely based on my Simply Watercolor classes over onlinecardclasses.com. Those classes are no stamps, no dies. You can use a Crayola watercolor set. It's so easy and simple. We are making three cards. And when you click over to that link that I've got below, you can actually see the 3 cards we're going to be making. In real time, I'm going to be walking you through the creation of those cards. It also comes with a PDF with some kind of like some template aids to help you make those 3 cards. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. If you want to wait until October 1st to sign up, because October is your month, you can. And I really hope you enjoy all the content over in that Facebook group and that you choose to remain a member. I've heard it's a really, really great Facebook group. Lots of encouragement and crafty and artistic people. So, sorry, I'm losing my voice. Last week I was sick. I'm getting over a cold. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay. Connie is asking, any idea when your new stamps and dies will be restocked? Everything's on order. I've heard as soon as this week, but I don't know. I would say, to be safe, maybe next week. I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful. I'm eagerly awaiting all of those items from the September release that went out of stock. I think there's still one die set that is in stock if you wanted to pick that up now. But everything else is mostly sold out as far as I know. And Melinda, thank you. Melinda says, I love your glasses. Thank you. That's so sweet. I think we're going to go ahead and switch over to the overhead camera and we'll get into what I'm doing for today. Okay, so hello. I have my watercolor set in front. And okay, so today's, I have to look this up on my phone so I can show you. Today's kind of like watercolor inspiration comes directly from a reel I saw on Instagram from the account called This Writing Desk, which I know some of you in the chat already follow this creator because I could see that you had liked some posts. I could see them. Okay, so hopefully they don't mind me sharing this, but basically they did like a puddle of water and then painted trees into the bottom, and the bottom of the trees touches that puddle of water, and then it wicks away all of the color, and you get this really cool effect. Sorry, it's going to block my face on my face camera, but you can see that. So I thought, that looks amazing. I want to try that. So we're gonna try that. And I thought maybe we could even change it up a little bit and maybe not just do trees, but maybe try some leaves, like some really simple leaf shapes. I thought that could be kind of fun too. All right, and we're gonna test out a new set of watercolor brushes tonight that came in the mail from Amazon. I did add those to the links down below if you want to check it out, but you know, wait until we test them out because who knows, I might not like them. And you know, I would hate for you to order them and then 20 minutes from now I'm like, you guys, these brushes are terrible. I would hate for you to have already ordered them. Like, I would feel so bad. So anyway, I'm going to start by taping down my watercolor paper. So the watercolor brushes I'm testing today are from Artegria. I think so, yeah, Artegria. 10 premium quality watercolor art brushes. Well, let's see if they're actually premium. This is my first time looking at them. I cut the seal so I could open it, but that's about it. Because, you know, for how inexpensive they were, are they premium? Are they? Are they? Well, they have a nice little case, so I'll give them that. And there's a lot of them. Okay. Oh my word, they're all sealed up. Which in most cases is probably a good thing, but this is really... How do I open you? Okay. Well, they have a really, really long barrel, which is... Let's just compare. Is it... Yeah, it is just a little bit longer than my usual brushes. You see that? It's just a little bit longer. So that's kind of nice. It would be a little bit inconvenient if you're like traveling or something, but... Okay, how do you... What in the world? Scissors. If you're going to do a bunch of watercoloring and make patterns and all sorts of things, it really is nice to have a flat brush here and there. So I wanted to like find one. This one is like one of those, what is it, petal? Oval wash. There we go. That's an oval wash. Then we have a size 12 round, which if you're just starting out, most of the time you're not going to have a brush that big. Okay, and then here's a smaller flat. So you've got this big flat, and then that looks like a 3/4, and that looks like a 1/2, size-wise. Here's another oval, 3/8. Oh, it's a dagger striper. There's a number 8 round. I'm hoping for a 2 round. Oh, there's a 3. There's a 3. Is this a 0? 0. We love a good 0. Always good for like little itty bitty stuff. A number 6 round. And what is this, like a 10? Yes, it is a 10. A number 10 round. Okay. I've taken all of my little protective little caps off. So this is like a really big collection of brushes. We don't know if they're good yet. They look nice. Are they nice? Are they, Christina? We don't know. The brushes are Artegria. 10 premium watercolor art brushes. They are synthetic squirrel. So they're synthetic, so I would assume that they are vegan. So let's test this out. I'm thinking for kind of like what I want to do here, probably, so this is 6. The size 8 is probably going to be where we're at for now. And let's get out our watercolors. I'm using my Mijello Mission Gold watercolors. These are my favorite tube watercolors. I've used them a lot. I've only had to refill 2 colors over the years. I've had to refill this one, which is opera pink, and this one up here, which is lemon yellow. Those are the 2 colors I would say I use the most, maybe. Those are the only 2 that I've had to refill. I've got like, oh, it's a little cat fur that was stuck. Kitties. Okay, so here we are. For this first one, I was thinking kind of like autumn colors. So I'm thinking maybe I should pick out the autumn colors first. And we're just gonna give it a good little test here. Okay, so I want like a really big puddle of water. You guys probably won't be able to see this, but it's already like seeping into the watercolor paper, and I want it to stay wet. Like I'm having to like lean down and like look at it. I want it to stay really wet for all. Can you guys, I don't know if you can see that. There you go. You can kind of see it in the light. You see how wet that is? I want it to stay really wet during all of my painting. And I want to make sure that my paints are pretty fluid. I don't want them to be super dry. Okay, I'm gonna start over here, and I'm gonna do a tree just like she did, coming down. Okay, look at that, and it kind of blooms. And then I'm gonna kind of just like dab on like a little bit of tree shape. Sorry, I'm gonna zoom in for you as soon as I can find where my remote went. There it is. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in for you a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. And now I'm going to go to a more golden yellow. In fact, I might even switch all the way over to like more of this orange. And come in and do another, and I want it to hit the bottom there. I can even go over into the yellow tree a little bit. But we're just making like tree shapes. Okay, I'm gonna go to a more reddish orange. Okay, my first thought is that I wish the point of this brush was just a little bit finer, but it's not terrible. Okay. My colors aren't spreading as much as hers were, but maybe I need to give it a little bit of a push with gravity. I'm also getting my brush wet. Okay, that looks crazy. That's okay, we're going. Okay, grab another red color. That's okay. I kind of like that. We could like trim that down on both sides to create like a portrait card. I think that could look really cool. Okay, I want to keep it tipped up like this so that those colors can continue to bleed into each other. But I don't want to hit it with a heat tool because I really want to let it do whatever it wants with the colors. You know, like I don't want to like artificially change it. So I'm going to set this aside, but at an angle. And I'm also going to do this, just sopping up some of that color so that it doesn't, you know, feed back into that area that we want to stay really clean. All right, so I'm just gonna get my wet area. Oh, and there's a little bit of pink paint on that brush. Let's clean you out. Okay, there we go. I'm just gonna get my wet area going here. Let's try one more, and we're gonna make it the Christmassy one. And let's also check in on that first one to see how it's drying. You know what? I almost liked it how it was drying before, but that's okay. I still love like this corner over here, that orange over to the yellow. I think it looks really cool. These are kind of just like wet watercolor paper bleeds, kind of. That's what it reminds me of. In fact, you know what? Since I liked how that other one was going, let's just dry this one because I like it where it's at now. Okay, I've got one little spot that refuses to dry right here. So I'm just gonna let that air dry. That's not completely dry, but I'm gonna let it air dry a little bit. Yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend these brushes, especially for the price that they are. They're a very inexpensive brush. Currently going for $24 for the set of 10. So that's pretty good. I really love how that one turned out. That looks really cool. In fact, you know what? Maybe like die cut into a circle. That would look really cool. Okay, so the die cuts that I grabbed, there's this one from Kathy. It just says peace. I thought it would look really cool on this. Okay, so like, oh, that would be really pretty just right across. So if it was a circle, okay, I've got additional circles from Waffle Flower. That's the first one I found, so that'll work. I'm not going for a specific circle size anyway, but maybe like, nope, bigger. Would the biggest one work? It would, but I think it would be a little too much with that grading. Okay, that could look really cool, and then have that piece hanging off the side in white. Okay, stacked. Like layered, stacked would be really, really cool. I like that idea. Okay, let's do that. I mean, I'm sad I'm gonna lose a lot of this cool stuff down here, but I think that's gonna look really, really neat. Okay. You know what, it makes me wonder, could I cut this just halfway and then, okay, wait, how would I? Okay, hold on. I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work out, and I might totally mess this up, but here we are. We're going to try it. You want it to cut. We only want it to cut to like right there. So I'm only going to have my cutting plate be to the point where I want it to stop. Okay. Let me try this. Okay. I believe that only cut the top. Ha! That's exactly what I wanted. Okay. You know, I probably do have an arch die, but do I know where it's at? No. Okay. And then we'll do this. And come over here. And also, we wouldn't be able to like DIY it if we did it. Look at that. Come on. We don't, who needs an arch die? Not us. No, because we're going by the, flying by the seat of our pants. Okay, and then I'm going to cut off this weirdness at the bottom. Just from where it was taped. Okay. All right. Nice. Okay. 4 1/4. Lovely. Okay. And then, perfect. All right. Grab some foam. There we go. Getting it right down there at the bottom. Lovely. And really, I have this thanks as well that I'm probably going to want out of white. I've got it out of white once. So while I'm cutting all of these, I'm just going to go ahead and cut this one too. Why not? I think about right there. About right there is nice. I'm going to do the same thing that I did before, just some dots on each one, except this one will stack together even faster. Because I can go that one, followed by that one. And then the glue was still wet enough that you can move everything around until they're stacked just like so. Well, let's try A7 and A2 layers, see which one is going to look best. I'm almost thinking A7 might give us a little more width on it. Could do it like that. And then have the thanks centered. Let's see. Just like that, and then the thanks. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Let's do that. I'm thinking maybe an A2 card landscape. Like, do I want to do the full thing? I think it could fit. Oh, yeah. And then I can just have it be like right there. I like that. This one that's the full A2. And then all right, we can just, oh, that's going to be so pretty. Just nice and simple. Make sure that's level. In fact, I have my little T-square ruler, and I can slide up. Make sure that's level. I like that. I can save that, the rest of the foam tape for a different card. Carrie's asking, do you use 8.5 by 11 cardstock to make your 5 by 7 card bases? I do. And then you have like scraps left over. Hold on, I've got like a little bit of something on the front of that card, so I want to turn it over and use the other side. Okay. Putting that kind of centered. There we go. All right, clean up a little bit. So here are the finished cards for tonight, all inspired by this video on Instagram from this writing desk. Her trees are much prettier. Don't look too closely. But anyway, all inspired by that video. And I think they turned out so pretty. I love that I was able to preserve some of that bleed down here at the bottom, cut it off up here. I think it just turned out so well and so pretty. Great die cut greetings for this as well. Thanks so much for joining me. I will be back with another card video very soon. Thanks for watching.